Hello guys, so welcome to my channel. My name is Mercedes. If you are new, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Today's video is going to be how to budget paycheck to paycheck. So I have this layout here that I just put this together here for you guys real quick using Word. It is just a table. So you have one table that has your income, your budgeted, your actual, any overage or underage, and then you have your expenses, budgeted, actual, plus, minus, and then down here list your cash envelope, sinking fund, debt payment, savings, all of that here. Now you can go and make this same layout on Word or adjust it to the way you like it. I was just playing around trying to get something going for this video for you guys. But for me, I typically just take a plain lined paper here. You can get a regular size notebook. This is just a small binder paper. And budget, you do not need anything fancy. You don't need a whole bunch of stickers or anything. You just need pen, paper, and a calculator or your phone. And let's get right into this budget, you guys, because I know this budget videos can be a little long, so I'm going to make it as short as possible for you guys. So the first thing I do is I take a monthly overview. Again, this is just something that I printed out on using Word. I made this calendar, printed it out, and this is what I use to track my monthly expenses. So you have your layout for your calendar. We're in the month of January. You'll go in and you'll list your bills on the date that they are due. So everybody knows how to read a calendar. I hope so. So you'll list like your rent, typically due on the 1st. You'll list your car note due on the 15th. Whenever your bills are due, you just go ahead and list them out. You also want to list your paycheck. So when are you going to be paid in the month of January? If you're getting paid bi-weekly, then typically the dates you get paid changes. It doesn't always fall on the 1st or the 15th or the 15th and the 30th or however you get paid. Typically, you can have a 3 paycheck month if you get paid bi-weekly. January is a 3 paycheck month for me, so I get paid on the 3rd, the 17th, and the 31st. So therefore, any bills that I have for the 3rd of the month through the 16th of the month will be paid with the check I receive on the 3rd. So from the 3rd all the way to the 16th of the month. So there's any bills here. So I have insurance, I have a car, I have a card, I have student loans. Whatever falls in this pay period, I need to pay with this check. Now, the check we'll be working on today is going to be the 17th. So any bills or expenses that fall on the 17th, which I have one there, all the way until the 30th, when I get another check on the 31st, will need to be paid with the 17th check. You don't have to pay the 31st bills with the 17th check since you're already getting a check on the 31st, unless you want to. So I hope that explains it. I know it's complicated, it gets a little confusing, but it's pretty much what it is. So you get your check here. You're going to take all the days from the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. Put you at 2 weeks. Whatever falls within the 17th through the 30th needs to be paid with the 17th check. So I have a Wix and I have a dentist. That's it. That's all I have to pay with this check. Now, I know that's not typically how it works for most people. A lot of people have a lot of bills, so I just wanted to show you guys an idea of how I do it. So what we'll do is go in, take our plain piece of paper, and we're going to write, and I'm sorry, I do write Cricut, you guys, sideways. Let's move this out the way. So we have January, seventeenth through the 30th. Any expenses that falls within this range needs to be paid with this check. So the way I do it is I list all of my expenses first. Now you can list your fixed expenses or your variable expenses. But if you know you can't do without some of your variable expenses, you can go ahead and list them under your expenses. I don't really break up my variable from my necessities just because I don't have many variable expenses while I'm paying off my debt. Now, most people would say a cell phone is a variable expense because you can do without it. So if push came to shove, you couldn't pay one of your bills, the phone bill should be the first bill you consider not paying, and not your rent or your light bill or water bill, because you need those to survive. You can do without your phone for a couple of weeks. You have the 17th through the 30th. So typically what falls within this range would be your car payment. You may have your car insurance. You may have your light bill, student loans. So those are the bills, the necessities, the main bills that you have to pay no matter what this pay period. So your car note, let's say budgeted amount, the actual amount, the due date, and any overage or underage can go in its own little category. And you can just separate these so that you don't get confused. Okay, and that is that. So then you'll list the amounts. So we have 300 car note, 120 car insurance, I don't know, $75 light bill, and your student loans are about $250. And then if you don't have these bills, of course you can substitute your own bills, kind of tailor them to this paycheck. Since this is the second paycheck of the month, it doesn't include any first of the month bills or anything like that. It just includes those other bills that we kind of try to forget about. So then you have the actual amount due. So once these bills come in, let's say you got your car note statement on the 7th of this month, go ahead and put in the actual balance due and the actual balance you paid. It's not necessarily what is due, because sometimes we pay more or we pay less on certain bills. But it's whatever you budget the bill to be. It's a good estimate of what it's going to be. If you've been budgeting for a while, you pretty much know every month what these bills are going to be. But if you haven't, then you're just going to give an estimated amount. And then once the actual bill is due and you pay that actual amount, that is what you'll list in this area. So let's just say we got our bill statements for all of these. They're pretty much all dead spot on. So 300 car note. Let's say for our insurance there was an extra 15 cents added, so we'll do 120.15. Light bill was actually 65.01, and our student loans are 250. That's just an idea of budgeting. So you just add on what the actual bill came to instead of your budgeted amount. And then when you finish, you'll say, well, this was right on. This one was negative 0.15 because you actually did not include that extra 15 cents. You actually save some money here. So this one was actually $10, or about $9.99 less than what you budgeted, and this one was spot on. So nothing over or under in those two categories. And then you're going to put your due dates, remembering that January 17th through the 30th. So let's say our car note is due on the 20th. Our car insurance is due on the 25th. Our light bill is due on the 29th. And our student loans is due on the 30th. However they're due. I'm just making up some dates. Always put them in order just so you can stay on track and make sure that everything gets paid, and make sure that it does fall within that pay period. And then you'll go down to what I deem as variable expenses. So you'll just list a variable. You'll put your budgeted amount, your actual, the due date, and any overage or underage. So for variable, this can include your groceries, your gas, your spending money, your bills that are not necessities like Hulu, Apple Music, Spotify, if you do Amazon Prime, things that you really don't have to pay every month. You just want them for whatever reason. Those are the things that go down here, and your groceries and gas go down here as well, because some paychecks you may spend more gas, or you may buy more groceries because you're at home more, or you're at home less, or you're not driving as much. So those can fall under your variable expenses as well. For me, I use the cash envelope method. So I take out cash for my variable expenses, because although they vary, I know for a fact that I do not want to go over a certain amount for each of these categories. So things like my home, where I have to buy toiletries, I have to buy cleaning supplies, anything in regards to home, I do my cash envelopes for. My groceries, my gas, and my entertainment budget is all in cash, so that I know once each of these categories are gone, there's no more money for any of these categories, and we'll just have to make do with what we have. So I'll go ahead and list out these expenses first, such as your Hulu, Spotify, and that's all I'm going to put under variable, because I'm showing you guys how I budget. You can adjust it to your liking, but I'm showing you how I would budget it if I did have variable expenses. Okay, so we have Hulu, which is, I don't know how much Hulu is, $10. Spotify, $7.99. They were both the same. When you got your bill, you knew that was what was due. They were both due on the 18th of the month, and there were no overage or underage. So that's that. So then I'm going to list my cash envelopes, and you guys can do the cash envelope method as well, especially if you're a beginner budgeter. It helps you stay on track with what you budget for these categories. So cash envelopes for me consist of my groceries, gas, home, personal, and entertainment. So these are a little different. You don't have any due dates or anything like that, but you still do have your budgeted amount, because just because you have this amount in here doesn't mean you have to spend it all. But if you do spend it all, you won't feel guilty because that's what you have for that category. So we'll put our budgeted, actual, and any money remaining over, you can either roll it over or you can save it. I always like to start out each check with a zero balance for these categories. So if I do have anything left over, I'll go ahead and transfer it back into my account and into my savings, or I'll put it towards my sinking funds. And we'll get into sinking funds later. That's a whole separate video in itself. So for your groceries, I see this grocery budget is super expensive for a lot of people, but I'm budgeting as a single person, so we are going to do $100 for the 2 weeks. Your gas, I put it at $80. That's $40 a week. Home, I'll put that at $20. And then personal, you can also do $20. And then entertainment, you can do $40. So $100, that's $50 a week. I think that's really good for a paycheck to paycheck budget. Gas, $80 for the 2 weeks. That's $40 a week for gas, depending on where you live and gas prices. You just have to adjust it to your budget. You have home, which is $20. That is for like laundry detergent, toiletries, stuff around the house that you need. You have a personal budget of $20. Now, some people, of course, do more than that. My personal budget is not a lot. I just use it for like snack machine if I want to get a coffee that day. That is what my personal budget falls under. Then you have entertainment. So if you want to go out with some friends, you want to go watch a movie, you have that $40 for the 2 weeks. So let's say you spent $90 on groceries this 2 weeks. You spent the full $80. You didn't spend anything on home. You spent the full $20 and you spent $40. So you'll have $0, $0, $20, $0, $0. So again, you can do whatever you choose with this $20. You can carry it over to the next budget, or you can put it towards your savings for this month, for this pay period. Okay, now, so what we're going to do is go in and total up each category. So we have our expenses. We're going to total this category. Our variable, we're going to total this category. And our cash envelopes will total this category. So $300 car payment, $120 insurance payment. Oh, remember your budgeted amount here and then your actual amount here. So since this is what you budgeted, this is going to be your first total amount. And then you're going to have your actual. But your actual doesn't come until you're reviewing your budget. So our budgeted amount was $300, $120, $75, and $250. Oops. $300, $120, $75, and $250. That comes to $745. So that is your total budgeted amount. Your variable, $10 plus $7.99 is $17.99. And then groceries 100, gas 80, home 20, personal 20, and your entertainment, it comes to 260. So then you're going to give yourself a grand total. So down here, you'll just put grand total, and this is all of your categories added together. So your 745 plus 17.99 plus 260 is $1,022.99. That is what your check needs to be to cover all of these expenses. So that way, you know, if your check is not this amount, the first category you need to look at cutting is your variable. And then you can go down to your cash envelopes and say, well, hey, this 2 weeks, maybe I don't need anything in personal. Maybe I don't need anything in entertainment. However, this is just your rough draft. So you haven't even got your actual amounts yet. You're just going off of what you budgeted these amounts to be. I filled in the actual so that you know what to do with the actual amounts. So your check needs to be at least $1,022.99 for these estimated costs. Let's say your check income for the 2 weeks was $1,500. So therefore, $1,500 will make do because it covers this amount. But if you know your income is going to be $1,500, then you'll put your remaining balance I can't spell today, sorry. So you'll do 1,500 minus 1,022.99, and you'll be left with $477.01. So that way you can distribute to your savings or your sinking funds, or both if you want to split it between the two. If you are currently working on paying off debt, then maybe you want to put some towards your debt snowball. Whatever the case may be, this is the basic concept to making a paycheck to paycheck budget. We have your top priority bills here. These you can do without if push came to shove. And then you have your everyday survival expenses. You have your budgeted amount for each of these categories, and you have, once it's all said and done, when your bill statements come through, your actual balances. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, you have what you actually spent in cash envelopes. So if you have anything to carry over, it will go in your remaining category. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I tried to give you any type of scenario. I am going to do a monthly budget as well, and then I'll do a sinking fund. I hope this video was helpful for any of you who are wanting to start a budget. Budgeting does not have to be complicated. You just have to sit down and figure out what works for you. You just have to, if you have to write your budget over and over and over again until you get it, do it. It is going to help you understand where your money is going and how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. You always want the money coming in to be more than the money going out. I hope this video was helpful. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if it was. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more financial videos, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye guys.